Hello, I'm Dr. Wendy Rowley of the Wonder of Human Design YouTube channel and the playlist series, How to Align to the Christ in the New Coming Death Bardo. All right, let's see what comes through today. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. It is Eliane of Cosmic Service, a Palladian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. In this second to last episode, we would like to bring in a greater understanding on how the Creator creates change, if we may be so bold as to bring that subject forward. We've talked about that in many ways already, in alignments, attunements, the greater soul groups in the greater field, pathways, energies. And we've even given in the beginning an example of what that would look like in a human perspective with the light and the membranes. And that metaphor of that galactic is exactly what happens in your spirit body. Those two membranes exist. You have a galactic and an earth membrane. And that's exactly what the healing looks like when it comes through a human from their soul, through these benevolent forces of healing. And what often the human sees is a shaft of light come down, all this transformation happen. And oftentimes the human has a very white, luminous glow around their head after a very good healing. Sorry, a little fuzzy in the air. And that ability to see this creational force and healing force is going to increase. And we're happy to say that for many healers, that they will start to see more and experience more in their healing, just through their attunements and alignments and intentions. All right, so in the second to last one, we would like to bring up the subject of, as we said, how does the Creator Divine Intelligence come through? From our perspective in the greater side of the other side of the veil, working at creational levels, in alignment with that divine intelligence, we had said from your perspective, it's your alignment, attunement, and asking and intention. From our side, it is a force that comes through the cosmos into your galaxy. That is what this one saw and what we described as in the blackness of space, she sensed a presence. She sensed something that was alive, is how she felt to say it. And then the shaft of light, she calls it a gamma ray burst, a explosion of light. The membrane opened, the light came in, the galactic. There was like a communication going on, and there, from that, and the prayers that came up into that earth band and vibrated it, and there was like a communication, and then that other membrane opened, and with an explosion of light in that interim space between the galactic and the earth, and that membrane opened, the earth membrane, and shaft of light came down for healing. Well, from our perspective, that is exactly how it comes through the solar systems, universes, and galaxies. There are membranes around all of these, dual membranes, and the source gets percolated down through creation, through space, as vast as that seems to you right now, and it is. And that divine intelligence, from our perspective, is part of the creation of what you see as universes and planetary systems and stars when you look out at the night sky. And this one read long ago in reading Rudolf Steiner's work, a man who was born in the 1800s and passed in the early 1900s, who brought forward much, much beautiful and very esoteric information. He's the founder of the Waldorf schools, biodynamic agriculture, and many other things. He spoke about the ability, this one's just feeling like she's forgetting what she's saying, but she's not. It's just a little change as we shift through the galactic, because this is a long day of taping. Okay, so let's get back to our thought pattern. So that divine intelligence in what you think is the darkness of space is something that's out there that communicates through galaxies and universes and solar systems. And each one, as we said, has a dual membrane where these things come in. La, 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 la. And that divine intelligence is not black holes, but it is within the creational level of everything. Now, this one is contemplated for a long time. What is love? And she realized love has to come from the Creator, real love, because humans just keep kind of not getting it right. So she said, how do you love? As well as how do you pray? And she's never had that really answered, but she's been shown healing and alignments and attunements. And we're going to come out boldly and try to answer that. What you call the force of love that you feel in your heart when everything is all right and aligned and attuned and people are all sort of sharing that and the hearts are open, and it might be a good occasion, it might be a celebration, it might be just having a love of your animal and that warm fuzzy feeling you feel. That is your connection to that starry black energy of non-space. And what you call the force of love is the divine intelligence within that space. So this one's wanted to start adding in divine intelligence and grace for the greater good of all and in alignment with love. But she doesn't have to, because it's implied within that divine intelligence. So how do humans align more to that energetic, that sensation, and that feeling? Well, all the things we said prior in this video are part of that, because the old system has to shift because it was based on the non-loving feelings of your creations. But now it moves to a benevolent, energetic of good feelings on the right path. And we've mentioned that the divine force of the divine intelligence is a new pathway that is being opened. And that pathway is related to divine intelligence in this black starry space, which is what you also call love. So at a planetary system shift, there is a greater increase of this black energy into that little 12 noon to 12 midnight new circadian rhythm in the inner torus, new connections in the outer galactic torus of the human spirit body that overlays the physical body. And that is already being seen by this one in her clairvoyance when she looks at that little slice. She wasn't really sure what that was. And that's what that is. It's the beginning of the percolation of those upgrades starting to come in. So why would you be getting connected to such a profound level of your solar system in the divine intelligence that runs through all of creation? Because as you evolve, you learn to create an unmanifested energy, pre-manifested energy, as opposed to just the manifested and creational energy. So you need to have greater connection into those non-material planes. Now, this one was at a very juicy, if we're going to be so bold as to come out and say, it's called the Pineal Tones Choir, run by Dr. Todd Ovakaitis. And she was in one in Uluru a long time ago, and she saw a pyramid in the group. The whole group was in a double-sided pyramid, and above it she saw a reversed black pyramid with the point coming down. And she was like, okay, that must be unmanifested levels. And it is. And she has started to see her ability, and we're using her as an example. We're not using her as an ego. We're using her as an example to describe energy through a human level of seeing and comprehending, so that it's a way of getting a metaphor in to describe what we're trying to describe. So let's have that understood. This one does not want to be the poster child for how to do it. She simply wants the information through, and you do with it what you want. Oop, excuse us. So that energy, she's seeing that black membrane, that black reverse pyramid more and more and more. And she's seeing something going on in the little capstone of these two pyramids going on. And that's these connections starting to be made of this new force into divine intelligence for the work coming forward, for bringing the Christ into the death bardo, and other things that will happen after her lifetime. And so for those of you who are starting to see that, we want you to have an understanding that it is not dark energy. It is divine intelligence of unmanifested energy coming in the new energy. Because you're kind of not able to get a sense of it. You kind of can't feel it. You kind of can't taste its flavor yet because it's not integrated down all the way through the blue-green healing layer. But it is in the white-yellow consciousness healing layer now. So we just wanted some healers to know that, who work at those levels. And so from our perspective, that divine intelligence of galaxies, universes, and solar systems is being upgraded, as well as it's being upgraded on your planet. And how we described it in other videos was we said the galactic enlightened highway was getting a divine intelligence upgrade so that all the enlightened planets got the new divine intelligence information from this black non-manifested energy through all of creation that you all call love at the same time. Because in the past, it would go from system to system to system, kind of longer and slower. But part of the creation, if as big and far out as that sounds, is that lots of upgrades are going on through the Creator's systems of universes, galaxies, and planetary systems, particularly the enlightened ones. And that's how we see divine intelligence. We see it from a bigger perspective. And we see how you all are integrating into it for your creations and how it is coming into this new Christ healing death bardo that'll be coming online 2028, 29, and 2030, so that you can begin to create your future evolutionary enlightenment process. Whew. Who knew? Macro to macro, macro to micro. So this is what we wish you to know this day, and that you are dearly loved, and to expect benevolence in all you do, and we bid you adieu. Peace be with you.